How do you explain an invisible car crash, the most duplicated celebrity of all time, and the most famous paranormal case to come out of England might be a glitch in the Matrix? We have all of this on today's most amazing top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, we have car crash from nothing. I know I'm not the only one who has seen a video like this before. A car is just gliding on the street, and then out of nowhere, it seems like the car crashes into nothing. Let's have a look. There are dozens of videos like this all over the internet, and I have yet to hear a good answer for why something like this could happen. We all just watched the same thing, right? A car is cruising down the street and then boom, it smashes into an invisible wall, and it doesn't just stop there, it kind of gets rejected out of the way like there was some sort of energy pushing the car away from it. Now, is this a glitch of the Matrix? Is this some sort of alien tech that we don't know about? Or does the Earth just shoot out some invisible energy at random times of the day that can ruin your car in a way that will never be covered by your car insurance? I would love some answers on this, so please jump into the comments and let us know what's going on, because this one has my head spinning in every direction. And guys, make sure you hit that like button because it really helps us out. Next on the list, we have copycat NPC. Running into someone that looks like you isn't the most common thing in the world, but it does happen. But running into someone that is dressed just like you and also is doing the exact same thing as you, well, that would make you think that there's something off in the Matrix.
These two complete strangers stood next to each other utterly randomly, yet both seem to have the exact same legs.
For any of our viewers who play video games, especially games like Fallout and Skyrim, you know that with big open world games, eventually you're going to run into another NPC that looks and sounds a lot like someone else in the world. The games are just too big to render everything completely unique. Well, that might be what happened in the picture we just saw. Our simulated world couldn't compute with what was going on and had to fart out a couple of the same character models just to keep things processing normally. Maybe that's what twins are. The software that runs this world needs to keep cranking out some people, so it just shoves two into the world at the same time who look exactly the same. All this time, we thought twins were special, but they're really just lazy programming. Also, I want to cover this. I've said this before, but I don't believe in simulation theory. It's just fun to play around with this idea for these videos. Coming in number 8, we have Daniel Radcliffe on repeat. There are a lot of people who have doppelgangers in this world. If we look through history, there are even more, especially when it comes to celebrities. But the weird thing with Daniel Radcliffe is that he has so many of them throughout history that his bloodline must be one of the strongest ever, or there is some very lazy programming going on. He has spoken about this on several talk shows, as it's always a fun thing to bring up, but one of the weirdest parts about all the Radcliffe clones that exist now and in the past is that they are both men and women who look so much like him. It would seem that this man has the basic character set for character creation. Like, you know, when you start a game up for the first time and then you get a character creation screen and they just give you a generic face to start with, Radcliffe must be the starting face for both men and women. That's why we have so many of him walking around the world. Coming in at number 7, we have Caught on Live TV. It can be easy to brush some of these aside as fake or just a coincidence, which they all probably are, but when you catch something on live TV, it brings up a few more questions. Like you all just saw what I saw, right? There was a ball there, it was flying through the air, and then it was gone out of nowhere. It was like it warped into another dimension. That would be a terrible thing to send to another world. We don't send any sort of information, just a really hard ball moving very fast. Now, I don't know what happened here and where that lands in the rulebook. Like, if the pitcher throws the ball and in between the ball getting hit and flying off for a home run, it warps out of existence, is that still a home run? Do you just get to go to first base? I mean, if we're going to keep messing around with time space, then we might have to start filling these things out in the rulebook, because they're going to start happening a lot more. Next on the list, guys, we have checkered waves. I have to say, I have no idea how the ocean works. You could tell me that it's all powered by some dude on a bike at the bottom of the ocean who doesn't need to breathe or take any breaks, and I would believe you. I mean, even me just saying that the ocean is powered shows you how little I really know about anything. But I don't think I have ever heard of something like this happening. Now take a long hard look at this, because at first it took me a second. If you look at the waves coming from the top of the picture, you can see that they're going towards the beach. But then if you look at the waves to the left of the picture, it looks like they're going along the beach. Now I need to say that I don't know anything about science, so there's probably a very simple explanation for this that I don't know about, but I just see what looks like the beach glitching out because someone programmed the waves wrong. Next on the list, we have gaming squared. Now for this one, I wouldn't be surprised if these two were just twins that were left in a Walmart to play some video games while their mom was doing some shopping. That's what I would do as a kid, and that's what so many other kids love to do. But this is still weird. Like you were seeing what I'm seeing, right? These look like they are the exact same kid doing the exact same thing. Now, there is a lot that bothers me about this. I mean, if you do have twins, please don't dress them up the same way, because if I saw something like this in person, my brain would probably Control-Alt-Delete and I would pass out. But also, let's say this whole glitch in the Matrix thing is real. You're telling me that when I was a kid and I was waiting for my turn to play games at the store and I didn't get a chance, it was because there was a glitch? I'm calling up God and complaining about this one. Does he have a customer service team that I can complain to, like a Karen who isn't happy about her life so she takes it out on other people? Is that what praying is? Is praying just complaining to God's customer service team? Next on the list, guys, we have something in the mirror. Now that we have so many people that are jumping over to simulation theory like it's the next big religion, some people have been asking themselves, do you think that everything we see as ghosts or paranormal could just be glitches in the system? Like, was that thing that the girl saw float through the mirror some sort of spooky ghost, or just some bad programming that made it seem like an NPC was somewhere that they shouldn't have been? Or was this just an edited video that was thrown on the internet to give a ton of people the heebie-jeebies? Next on the list, guys, we have the Russian bike teleporter. This is one of the most famous glitch in the Matrix clips on the internet. I have probably watched this north of 50 times and I still can't figure out how this man is able to appear out of nowhere.
Не мешай ничего. Нормально, нормально.
Ну что, давай тогда еще разок.
Наболтни.
I mean, there is a lot going on in that clip. To even get to the bottom of our mysterious bike person, we need to first ignore what's going on in front of him. Like, was that dude on the right selling stuff out of the back of his truck, and why does he have an accordion? On top of that, does the other dude just talk like that all the time, or was he drunk? Those are the questions we need to block out just so we can see the man on the back warp out of thin air on a bike like he came through a wormhole. I wonder if in the future they will have bikes that can ride through wormholes. That would just be such a pleasant way to go through time. Next on the list, guys, we have the SOLOWAY Spaceman. This is one of the most famous cases of glitches in the Matrix or extraterrestrials that we have ever seen. First, let me show you the picture, and then I will give you a breakdown of everything that happened. So, sitting in this picture is Elizabeth Templeton, just a young girl hanging out with some flowers back in the year 1964. Seems like she was having a very good time without a care in the world. Now, her father took this picture, and let me tell you, he's not the guy standing behind her in the picture. This was back in the year 1964, so obviously back then, you didn't know what you took in a picture until you had the film developed. Once Liz's father, Jim, got the photos back, he noticed the spaceman standing behind her, and he started to tell people about the mysterious person that was caught in the picture. Since that day, him and his daughter were alone in the field. Eventually, the news spread, and it was the talk of the town. This led to Jim getting a visit from two men in black who told him to forget what he saw. To this day, the picture has never been explained. Coming into the number one spot, we have the floating bird. Now, I know we have shown other birds stuck in the air through this series, but this one just baffles me. I want to say it's just a spider web or something, but look at this. How does a bird fly up into the air and then just get stuck like that? that. I know that there's a lot to learn about gravity, but I thought a universal law was what goes up must come down, not what goes up comes down most of the time, but sometimes gets stuck in the air and then flaps around and freaks everyone out. I didn't know that was one of the laws. All right, guys, I've been your host, CHECKERED. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.